Calcutta Grunge Exchange for having me. So, keep rocking. I'm also very excited to be here because I follow the page and Kapo is one of my oldest friends and I'm doing pretty well. My musical projects, Arbovirus, my main act, and we have been doing this band for almost 20 years, around 17, 18. And it's a long road and there were ups and downs, and the best thing is that I did it with my friends. We're still going strong right at this moment and writing for the new EP, or it might be an album, I don't know. I worked for a few songs for the next album. We released 3 albums, 1 live album, live acoustic album, 1 EP, and I think there are around 12 to 13 more songs that were released as singles. And 2 years back, actually 3 years back when I moved to London, I made another band with my friend Alex, and Tani, who used to be Arbo's drummer from the first album. He moved here 10 years back, so he joined the band and we found an amazing singer, Sam. And so it's more jam band. We jam and just make the songs on spot. We released 2 songs on Spotify and YouTube, and then we're releasing another song in this month. And I think we composed around 15 more songs, and we're gonna release it over next 2 years. And there's another project that I'm really psyched about. It's an industrial rock metal project, and I'm doing it with 2 of my friends in London, Fahad and Shubro. And I think it will be really interesting. And there was another project that I did with 3 of my favorite musicians from Dhaka, from different bands. It was called 489, and so we were thinking about bringing that project back to life. So, I think so many projects, and it's going well. My band, Arbovirus, or me, we are not pioneers, but what we are is survivor, because when we started the band, it was very exciting time in Dhaka underground rock scene, because everyone was trying to do new stuff, and it was like a small circle, but bands from there like Black and Arsenal, they were doing pretty well. So, and that gave us hope, and we tried new stuff. And there were so many bands, but when we graduated and went into other jobs and everything, so a lot of bands, they didn't survive. Only few of us survived, few of the bands. So, we didn't think that we'd come this far, but it's amazing. But the thing is, it's not that we started a revolution, but we were part of it, and so there were so many people that worked towards it, like Joel Bhai from Miles, even though his band was from a very mainstream era, but he helped a lot of bands like us, and Shumon Bhai from Alterview, and Dure Bhai, and there was this record label G-Series that helped a lot of bands like us. And there were so many bands, the big ADCRs, the Black Cryptic Fate, and there were Nemesis was still going strong and really good band. There was Breach, Reborn, Stentorian, and I can't even remember, there were so many bands that were exciting, and we all sounded different, and we all wanted to do different stuff. And then so that's the thing. So, and I can't believe that when we play shows like Joy Bangla, a stadium in front of 50,000 people, and all the bands there are our friends, we started together, it's great. And I think just because everyone was trying to do different stuff, the whole scene survived, because if we followed the footsteps of the older bands, then people would get bored. And I'm really happy that newer bands, and they are even better, and they're amazing. They sound really different from us. They sound really different from each other. And I remember that there was this venue called, and there still is, it's called Russian Culture, and every week there were 2-3 shows, and there were like 300 people going there, 200-300 people every single week, maybe twice a week, and the shows were really exciting. So there were just not the bands, because the audience, maybe the same 300 audience was coming to every show, but they were supporting these bands, and there were sound system companies that came forward. There were organizers that did the shows, and definitely I already talked about G-Series, because people like Shumon or Jewel, they were behind all these bands. Record label like G-Series, they came forward to promote these bands and release our albums, and there were shows like Rock Links. So it's not just the bands that made the whole thing happen. It's a combination of all these efforts of different people. Even the bands that were mainstream, they supported us, or at least they told us we were doing this wrong or doing this right. That helped us. But the main thing is the audience was really great, and that's why we're here. It's really tough for me to talk about my influences, because every few months it changes, and like when I was young, whatever that was showing in MTV, that was his influence. You see, a guy like Slash getting on piano and playing solos, and it makes you to take the guitar. But more I grew up, I preferred guitarists whose playing are more angular, a bit weird. Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix have always been a major influence. And then there was Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains. Okay, I have something to show. I went to a Alice in Chains show, and I got the Jerry Cantrell pick. I'm very bad at catching stuff, but that day I got it. So Jerry Cantrell, Chris Cornell, and Kim Thayil, they're playing that. That was amazing. And the thing is, when you see Kim Thayil playing solos, and you become influenced by him. But then I figured out, okay, all the great riffs and compositions, they were done by Chris Cornell. So it's amazing. And then one of my recent influence, if I talk about one of the recent ones, there is a musician called Vincenzo Lamagna. He's a London-based musician, but he's from Italy, and he made me think, he made me think in a whole different way. He's an amazing musician that, you don't have to, you can be weird and make great stuff. So that's definitely Deftones and Queens of the Stone Age. Those are the artists that I never get bored of. And Failure, that sci-fi rock band from Seattle. So that's amazing. And there's so many guitarists and artists that I can talk about, but I think it will take a lot of time. But I also get influenced by the newer people, especially in the Dhaka rock scene. I think younger artists that, though they influenced me more than the artists who came before us, like the guys from Carnival and Own and Conclusion. So their music taste and how they play, how they approach the song. That influenced me a lot. And I'm a huge fan of Flea of Red Hot Chili Peppers. So there's some more into, and definitely one of the major influences is Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. So yeah, I can talk about it like for hours. So maybe I should stop. Nick Perry and Scott Holiday, and definitely Jordan Cook from Reno, and whichever band Troy Van Leeuwen was, that was amazing. He's a major influence, and definitely Billy Howard from A Perfect Circle. Adam Jones, I Can Stop, Head and Monkey, James Addiction. There's so many artists and guitar players. For performing 17, 18 years in a rock band. We have so many incidents, and I don't even remember most of them. For few, like even because we are very unpredictable on stage. Yeah, predictable in some cases, but sometimes I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I mean, last Jawbangla show, I saw like 50,000 people show in the stadium, and I jumped from the stage. It was really high, and I almost broke my ankle. I couldn't walk for a few weeks, but luckily I didn't break my ankle. There was one show in Kulna. I jumped on the stage, and when I landed, my foot got into the stage. I mean, I broke the stage. It was crazy. And all the Rock Nation shows, we did crazy stuff. Even in the first one, I remember Rock Nation 1. Now we painted our body, and like after the show, other members who painted their body, the paint came off. Mine didn't, and I tried so hard, and the show happened in a 5-star hotel, and we destroyed the bathroom just with paint, and it didn't come off. And that day I went to my best friend's place, Shoiku's place, and I stayed there, and I showered for probably 4 hours, and my skin was all wrinkly. The bathroom was like all black with my paint, and next day auntie came to the bathroom and was asking, what did you do? And I think for a week the paint didn't come off. I mean, there was a layer of it, and in the last Rock Nation that happened, I remember that Nafiz and I came down from the stage, and the band was playing, another drummer kept playing. Nafiz and I went in the middle of the crowd, 2,000 people, and Nafiz got back, and there was another guitar there, and I kept, and for the rest of the song I played from there. It was great. And there are so many other incidents. I remember like a few years back, we, for 2 months in a row, we did shows every week, and every week something went wrong. Like in one of the shows in Sylhet, like 2 people got stabbed just outside the venue, and we had to stop the show. And I remember that we rented a car, and the driver couldn't drive because he saw the stabbing. On the next show, we were doing a show, and middle of a song, the police came on the stage and stopped the show, and we were playing a song and we didn't finish it. And maybe for the next show, we went to a show in TSC, and Nafiz's phone got stolen, and it was a new phone, and we had, and so I think we went to the police station or whatever, but Adnan was staying there. Some guy came and gave him the phone, and he took it, but he said okay, he didn't want to give it back because everybody would think that he was a thief, which he was, and probably, and one of the shows I remember Sufi couldn't come because he was in hospital. So, but it was like a few other bands were playing and a small club. And our friends tried to help us by, singing in place of Sufi. And within the first song, and there was like a fire just happened on the stage, and it was all smoke and people ran out of it. And then there was, I think, in that 2-month run, in the last show, we were playing in a university, and a part of the floor broke. People just fell down. Man, that was crazy. So there are so many incidents.